Hi everyone, welcome back to Domina Chase's Humanistic BDSM. Yay! You should be so proud of me. This is my third video in a row that I am recording tonight because I don't know, for some reason I just feel like super energized. At the end of the last video, I misplaced the paper. It was not any convenient place for me to reach, and I forgot the name of my third episode. And the third episode, thankfully for you, you remembered. Oh, this is here's the second episode, or here. See, that's a hard part when you're like, I'm like continuously doing it. I don't fucking know where that shit pops up. The third episode is how do I find out what I'm into if I've never done anything? Like, what's my kink? Okay, so on the first episode, we talked about what is BDSM. The second episode, I talked about what's my role. And so this third one is what's my kink? I do just want to do a quick disclaimer and explanation. A lot of BDSM 101 tutorials will start with negotiation. And yes, it's a great place to start. However, negotiation goes so much better when you've done some of your own self-exploration before you engage in negotiation with another person, So, and even and not even just negotiation, just asking for advice. So I'm kind of giving you like a little bit of self-homework. So I think the next episode, I've already done 3. I'm not going to do that tonight. Is how do I find my kink? So let's say you've already discovered what your role is. We'll just go, I'll explain. I'll just use me as an example because I know me. I identify as someone who is as a pain switch, who is a dominant. So that means that I like to both give and receive pain, but I'm dominant all the time, pretty much. Like 98% of the time, dominant, So what do I do with that information? Like, what if you're new? Okay, so how do I even find that for myself? Like, what are my kinks now? Like, okay, I know my role. I know I like to give in pain and receive pain, and I know I like to be in charge, but that does not make a kink. Okay. What I want you to do is this is something I do ask in negotiation. So this is like a little pre-homework for you. Is think of what you last fantasized about. What did you masturbate to? And first, think of what the actual mechanics, if you were to write out an instruction manual for this fantasy, what would those steps be? Was there a location? Was there a person, a type of person, people? Was there instruments? Were there even other people? Look through that list of this is the instruction manual that would come. This was the instruction manual that if you were a director for a movie, you turn into a porn, this is you need these are the actors you need, this is your set, these are the paraphernalia that you would need. What is that? However, like a good director, you need to now look into the motivation. What's the motivation? And it sounds cheesy, but it's true. What is the mental and emotional, that says this a lot, remember, it was humanistic BDSM, it's based on humanistic psychology. What is it about this specific scene? Let's bring it simple. I like to get paddled. So maybe you like to get paddled. So let's say the scene is in a bedroom that's well lit, on a bed, on all fours, getting spanked by a person of the gender and orientation that you are attracted to, that you want to be hit by. So for me, as a cis het woman, but I don't know, I just thought, I was like, oh, it'd be kind of fun to be hit by, like, get spanked by a woman right now. I'm like, whatever. I like want to. Another thing that we discussed in a previous video is that you can separate BDSM from sex. So sometimes I'm just like, it'd be fun to be hit by a woman. Like, yeah. So by a woman. And yeah, so like that seems like that's a really super standard fantasy. If that's your fantasy, I am not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just going with something that we can all easily imagine, okay? I'm not calling you boring, because that's fine. And now we're going to get to the point why I think it doesn't have to be boring. So now you want to set the scene. Like, what is it for you that made this for you specifically, a fantasy? Because there's different motivations, again, like the director. Is it the pain? Is it the fact that you want to feel that sensation, you want to feel alive, kind of like the whole roller coaster experience? Does it make you feel weak and like you're having power taken from you because you're on all fours and someone's spanking you, and you're doing something that you're like, I shouldn't be doing this. Why am I agreeing to this? Maybe you're doing it because you want to show off your power, like the opposite. You want to show, like, I'm such a fucking badass. You can hit me and I'm not gonna cry. I'm gonna just fucking take it. Like, you're not gonna like break me. Fuck no. Like, I'm gonna just keep doing this. Or maybe it's just the fact that it's taboo. Like, I shouldn't be enjoying this. Like, what's going on here? So as you can see, exact same scenario, on all fours, getting spanked by somebody, and you can have so many different motivations and different reasons why that particular scene is kinky for you and what turns you on mentally and emotionally. It doesn't have to give you a hard on. That's okay. Just think it's entertaining. Or maybe you just want to be hit really lightly. Just, you just want to be like, hey, this is fun. This is a fun thing. Why am I doing this? So that the reason why I ask this when I do negotiation is because I want to get down to what is their kink. What is their kink in their head? So BDSM, out of so many different activities that we can physically do, is one of the most intensely intellectual and in your head. No matter how physical you are, you will still have to be in your head and connected to that. So why do I ask this? And why do I want you to figure out and discover for yourself what your true kink is that whenever you have found that for yourself, you will be able to then tell another person. You see, like, where we're getting here is like every time it's like telling somebody, is you'll be able to convey this information to someone. And so when you're asking for advice, or if you're playing, they might have an idea of a type of play that they like that maybe you're not familiar with, you've never even heard of, like electro play. Like, holy shit, I didn't know you can shock the shit out of someone. I didn't know that was a fucking thing that people did willingly. It is, and that's fun, by the way. So let's go back to the spanking scenario. So let's say your motivation of why you really like why this turns you on is because like you want to prove how strong you are. You want to show that I can take it. Well, maybe now that you have this realization about yourself, when you go into negotiation with someone, and one of the things that they like to do or that's available or possible is electroplay, and instead of just saying, "Oh, I want to be spanked," but the other person doesn't like spanking, that's not their thing, then you might just like kind of go away and like, "Oh, well, that was cool, I guess. Like good luck to you. Like, your kink is not my kink. You like to get spanked. I don't like to spank. I'm really into electroplay." Like, okay, you go off on your own ways. However, imagine how different this conversation would have been if you had said, "My kink is to show people how strong I am, to prove to myself how much I can take." Well, this person who's into electroplay but not into spankings, like, well, have you considered electroplay? Like, see how much electricity you can take. And then this changes the conversation completely. So for you may or may not know, depending on how long you've interacted with me and our Facebook group and just even in person on workshops, I like to tell, when people ask me what my kink is, I like to tell them that my kink is making people question their life choices. Yes, it's as sadistic as it fucking sounds, okay? I'm a fucking sadist. I really am. And like, I personally feel that like fetishes and kinks, such as like the paddling, electroplay, the shibari, bastonado, all of these things for me is like a tool belt. It's like my Batman belt of ways to getting my needs met, which is making people question their life choices, okay? So, that I feel like by having figured out what my true kink is, it has opened me up to play with so many different types of people I never would have played with. Or even different types of play and and explore and start conversations, or it's amazing. When I figured that out for myself, it blew wide open the possibilities of BDSM play, and it took me several years to figure this out. So I definitely encourage that for you. I want you to figure out what is your one true kink. Like, if you could distill it down and figure that out. And it doesn't have to be as esoteric as mine. Some people, their one true kink really is binding people and placing and like suspending them. Like, that's just like, they just really like that. They love the aesthetics, but it helps if you like if you just really crystallize it. Like, yeah, you said, I really like suspensions because of the aesthetics. So, in that case, like, the person might say like, "Hey, I have different colors of rope," or "I know someone who has these different kinds of rope. Like, this is the type of rope that looks really good on my skin color." It can really enhance. It really enhances it. Or just say, "I really like suspensions because of the control," and they're like, "Well, okay, I'm not really sure about being suspended. I've never been tied up." Well, maybe you can do a tie that controls them that's still on the floor. It really helps. The more you know about yourself, the better kink is. I definitely encourage introspection. Because when you know yourself really well, the better you can tell everybody. You can tell someone else who you are and find those peak experiences that I would love for you to have. So yeah, that's it. I guess that's your homework. How about that? If you already know what your one true kink is, leave your comment down below. If you don't know, go off, like, figure that shit out, come back, and then put that in the comments. That's it for this video. If you're interested in interacting with the humanistic BDSM community as a greater whole, you can find us on Facebook with humanistic BDSM inclusive as fuck kink. We're on Instagram. I think we're on Twitter. Yes, we are on Twitter. Thank you, pet. Love you. If you really, really liked it, make sure to find us on Patreon. You'll have access to like more like behind the scenes videos about me and Patrick, because we believe in keeping the educational videos and information free, which will also grant you access to our Discord server, which is much more no holds bar because it's not Facebook. I forgot to say, please make sure to like and subscribe. It would mean so much to me. And share too. Yeah. All right, that's it for me for this episode and for tonight, because this was my third episode being shot in a row. Proud of me, yeah. All right, bye everyone, bye.